Hi, Tori. How are you today?
I'm pretty good. How about you?
I'm good. So, how was your week last week after we met?
It was pretty good. I got to go home for Thanksgiving, which was nice, but I worked um, every single day except for Thanksgiving, and Black Friday was crazy. And so, I mean, there wasn't like a relaxing break because I was
Yeah,
up early and up late. So,
yeah, but at least you're home. Did you get to spend time with your family at least for a little while?
a little bit. My mom worked every day too, except for on Thursday because she's in retail, and so it's part of the busiest season. My dad was home as well, and so that was nice. I hadn't seen him. Um, well, I saw him over my birthday weekend a couple months ago, but other than that, I haven't seen him since the summer, I think. So it's been a while.
Yeah, it has been a while. And what is he doing exactly that's keeping him away?
Well, kind of as I was telling you last week, once we moved from Tennessee, after my freshman year, my dad didn't want to reestablish his business in a new state and kind of start fresh or whatever, just because of the economy. And so he started working on pipelines, and he's like oversees all of the contractors there, since he was once a general contractor. And so that requires him to live up in Pennsylvania. He doesn't really get any kind of like time off, but it pays well, so that's kind of why he's staying up there, opposed to finding something more residential to like where we're at right now. So
Okay. So he's gone for a while due to his job, and he works really, really hard.
mm-hmm.
Is that hard for you not to have your father around?
I mean, I don't know. I didn't really see him a whole lot like when I was in high school or anything like that, just because since he owned his own business, he was always doing stuff. He was always up at like 5 and at work, and went to bed super early because he worked like 12-hour days and then went home and went to bed.
Do you think your relationship with your dad is ideal to you? Um,
Um, no, probably not.
what would your fantasy relationship be like with your father if you could pick?
Kind of more like back when I was in elementary school. We were super, super close. I was such a little tom girl. I loved playing sports, and I'd play football with him like on Sunday afternoons and stuff after we watched like some football on TV or like cartoons. And then during the winter season, I'd go hunting with him for ducks, and like in the summer and in the fall, we would fish. So I mean, that was always really fun. I've kind of grown up a little bit since then, and don't really always have the time for that because I'd rather do stuff with my friends and whatnot. So I feel like it's kind of like my fault that we're not as close, I guess. But too, like once I like hit middle school and stuff, like once the economy started going down, he started having to work a lot longer hours, as I was saying a minute ago, and so we didn't have that time to spend together because like he even worked Sundays, and if he wasn't working on a Sunday, like he just wanted to kind of like relax and like watch football and take naps and just have like a lazy Sunday afternoon. And I was either pole vaulting or like hanging out with my friends or working and stuff. So like our schedules never matched up or anything like that.
Okay. So what I'm hearing is you guys both did and do have very hectic and not really well balanced schedules.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are always on opposite ends of, when he's not busy, you are, and vice versa.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you guys talk a lot on the phone or?
No, I don't know. Me and my dad haven't really ever had like deep conversations. Not even when I was younger. I just kind of always told everything to my mom. I'm not really sure why it is. It's not like I don't trust my dad or anything like that, or don't love him as much. I just don't express as much to him or tell him as much. And so like we'll text sometimes, but I don't really like talking on the phone as much. I don't know. I never have, and like even when he was gone, I didn't really see him. I probably talked to him on the phone like once every 2 weeks,
Yeah.
maybe.
And we didn't discuss this last week either. I'm just wondering, do you have any brothers and sisters?
No, it's just me.
It is just you. Do you ever
Mm-hmm.
feel pressured from your parents to, or mainly with your father, because it seems like you and your mother have a very good relationship.
Uh-huh.
Do you ever feel pressure from your father to maybe try and communicate more with him? Does he ever express really that he would wish you guys had a better relationship?
I'm trying to think. No, I don't. I don't know. Like I feel bad because I don't necessarily always want to like call and talk to him. I'd rather call and talk to my mom or tell her about everything, or call and talk to my grandma, who I'm also really close with, and tell her about stuff. Just because I don't ever see her since we moved from Tennessee. Um, so I mean, in that retrospect, I feel pressured, I guess. But like, I don't know. I don't know if he thinks anything about it. He could, and just hasn't ever expressed it to me. And my mom, if he told my mom, like she would tell me, but she hasn't. And so I don't, I don't know. I don't know if what I'm saying really makes sense or not.
No, let me see if I understand what you're saying is, you know, yeah, your father doesn't necessarily express it, but you, I'm sure he does want to maybe talk to you a little bit more, but you guys are both just so busy and you feel kind of pressured, but at the same time, maybe it's always been like this, so you both are kind of used to it.
Yeah, I guess so. I feel like that's kind of more of where we're at. Is just like it's just how it's always been, and like I feel like it'd almost be weird to kind of change it.
Would you want to change it?
I don't know. I would want it to be changed, but I don't think I'd want to go through the process of changing it, if that makes sense.
It does, but what in your eyes is the process? What do you mean exactly by the process?
I feel like whenever he's home, I'll like make sure to either go to like a breakfast or a lunch with him or something like that, just us two. And those are kind of like not awkward by any means, but just like we don't have a whole lot we can talk about. Like we'll talk about like school, we'll talk about Afakai, we'll talk about Anthony, we'll talk about his work and whatnot. But it's never like a deep level kind of conversation, and so I feel like the transition from going to like those kind of topics to more intimate topics and like deeper topics would just kind of be a weird transition, something that we've never really been used to. I don't know. I talk to my dad like he's like one of my guy friends, I guess. Yeah. Like we wouldn't talk on a deeper level. So I feel like going over and talking in that kind of way would just be weird, I guess.
Yeah. Not even, let's look at not even necessarily maybe him and your relationship telling each other stuff, but him moving home. What do you think that would be like? Would you really like that?
I don't think it really makes much of a difference just because I don't see him a lot, like I was kind of saying anyways. Because like when I was home over Thanksgiving, he was working with my Uncle Sanford, who does construction like my dad used to do. He owns his own business too, and so my dad was helping him out there just to kind of help make ends meet while everyone was off because they had finished their job up in Pennsylvania and are waiting until a new one opens up. So still he wasn't like really there a lot, and my aunt, his sister, just moved, and so he was like hanging everything up and like putting everything up and running electricity and like pipelines and stuff all throughout the house. And so because of that, I still wouldn't really see him a whole lot more. He would be there, and so it wouldn't make much of a difference.
Okay, so he seems like a pretty hardworking and busy man.
He is. He always has been, and it's something that I admire about him. And it's like a trait that's kind of carried over to me. Like I've always been really hardworking and like work for everything that I get.
That's good. So let's go back and discuss your mother and you, kind of that relationship. And does she ever? Is it difficult to not have your father around for her? Do you know? Do you guys talk about that with each other?
I don't know. My mom and I are a lot alike, but very different at the same time. She really, really likes her independence and being on her own, and so I think sometimes she kind of likes the fact that my dad's not always there 24/7, just because it gives her her own alone time and whatnot, just to have to her own self, if that makes sense. And so, like, she has a crazy work schedule. Sometimes she's working at 6 a.m., sometimes she's working till 10 p.m. at night. And so whenever she has like a day off, she enjoys just being by herself, cleaning the house, like playing with her dog and just relaxing. And so like even when I'm there, like I can kind of tell like she just sometimes wants time to herself. It's how she always was when we lived in Tennessee too. She just liked having the peace and quiet. Like when she got off to work, she watched her show, ate a snack, and like had her own time for a little bit. And so she definitely misses my dad and like goes and visits him about every 6 weeks to 2 months.
That's good.
For a few days, like for a weekend. And so she definitely misses that aspect of like having him around, but she also likes how much alone time she does have.
Mm. Okay, so your mother really is doing really well.
Mm-hmm.
It seems, which is good. I'm sure that makes you happy.
Yeah, it does, because she, ever since we moved to Oklahoma, she's become like a lot less stressed and really relaxed, which is so weird because she was never like that in Memphis. She was always like, it's like walking on eggshells. Anything could make her break in a minute. And she's definitely not like that anymore, which is good.
Do you ever talk to each other about maybe why the attitude changed, maybe, or?
No, but she'll say stuff every now and then. Like the other day, she was like talking about Anthony and
Anthony's your boyfriend, right? From last week. Okay, that's right.
And she was just kind of talking or joking about like how she used to be so uptight about like me dating anybody just because she isn't ready for me to be in a serious relationship or anything. And she made a joke about like, haven't I loosened up a lot? Like, aren't I like so nice now? And it's just funny because she used to never be like that. If it would, like, it's, my mom's always been like, if it's not her way, it's the highway.
Yeah. Well, that's really good. So it seems like everything on that aspect is doing well. And we were talking about Anthony a little bit last week. Do you want to talk maybe a little bit about that? You guys have been dating for about a year now, is what you said.
Yeah, a little over a year. It'll be a year and a half in January. So.
And that's going good. And you said your mom likes him.
Yeah, she's starting to really like him. His family is very different than mine. Like his parents already call me like part of his family and stuff. And my dad really likes him just because Anthony's like a man's man. He like is really hardworking, pays for school and stuff like that. And that's how my dad's always been. And my mom is starting to really open up and really like him now a lot too. So it's been going well.
Good. So do you think that you can maybe lean on him for help whenever you have, like, you could definitely go to Anthony? Yes, for Anthony.
Yeah, I go to him with everything and anything, and I've talked to him about my dad and stuff a little bit, and so he's really great about that kind of stuff.
Okay. All right, so let's talk about kind of our goals that we want to decide on today. What would you want to get out of this coming here and talking to me? You know, we've talked about your father and your relationship with him and how he's gone, but yet it still works out with the two of you, and how you're very close with your mother, and how moving to Oklahoma has actually been a very good thing for your whole entire family, it seems like. So what seems to be probably the most prevalent is you and your father. But that's just my opinion. Is there anything that, though, you would really want to set a goal towards?
I think over like the holiday season that's coming up, I think I just want to try and reach out to him and spend a little bit more time with him and actually talk to him more about like Anthony and talk to him more about like what I'm going to be doing and like why I want to do stuff, opposed to just talking about like something that's more straightforward, I guess. And so that's kind of a goal that I think I could definitely accomplish.
I think that would be great, and I think your father would really appreciate it. He seems like a very hardworking person. So let's go ahead and have that be kind of our goal and our mindset, and have you talking to your father more, and not just about the normal things that you would. You know, you've expressed that he would like to get to know you a little bit better, even though he has gone a lot. So how about we have that be our focus, is you really opening up to your father a little bit more and sitting down with him, and maybe not just the regular breakfast and lunch, Right. Why don't you guys go to Bass Pro Shop, and kind of maybe joke around about the old days, like you were talking about earlier, about fishing and, doing kind of outdoorsy maybe stuff together, if you could do that, and even have your boyfriend Anthony come along. I think that would be great. Do you think that was something that you would really like to do?
I think that sounds like something that I can definitely do, and I can hopefully definitely talk to you about like after the holiday season and after I get to see him again.
Yeah, I would love to really hear about how it went. Because you guys, it sounds like you guys really do have a good relationship, but just making that just a little bit stronger,
Sounds
I think
good.
would be great. So, all right, well, we're about out of time, but we will meet after Christmas. So I hope you have a great holiday, and it was very nice to talk to you, Tori.
Thank you. You too.
Mm-hmm.